Hello. 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 Okay. How's going if you are there? I'm just waiting my usual time to check things out. If you are there, say hello. Say hello if you are there. Oh, the bloody brightness of my screen always makes my face look ridiculous. Well, that and genetics. Who is with me? Okay. Hello, Sarah. How you going? Good to see you there. Thank you. Yeah. We've made... Hello, Helen. How you going? Good to see you there as well. Can you guys hear me okay? The audio looks like it's okay on this end. I just want to make sure that it's all okay from this side. Hello, Sharon. How you going? Nice to see you as well. I've made a few little adjustments. I might just sit back a little bit. Sit back a little bit. There you go. That's a bit better. I reckon I'm going to shave this off tomorrow. Not off, but you know, make it a little less hobo-like. Would be good. Oh, all right. So I'm just going to share this in Facebook for now. If you guys have got somewhere else you want to share it while you're waiting, that'd be cool. You click on the share button on YouTube. You should be able to just share it through to a group or anywhere you want on your own personal page. There we go. Or if you're on an art page or something funky like that. Let's go Facebook again. Share there. Live now again. That'll do. Don't want to annoy everyone too much. So what's been happening? Anything exciting going on? Hey. I'm assuming not. Ha! That's no good. You've got to raise your standards, Sharon. You've got to raise your standards. Definitely have to raise your standards. Hey, Cheryl. Oh, you're not painting tonight, Angie. That's you, isn't it? Arty farty. Hello, Majed. How are you? Thank you for joining us. I'm just doing my usual whip around for a second to wait until everyone's in the feed. Awesome. Thanks, Margaret. Good stuff. Are you on YouTube? If you're here, let me know. Let me know. Oh, that's no good. It's no good at all. Oh, it's not good. Sorry to hear that. Well, I don't know if any of you guys saw, but I had an interesting afternoon on Sunday afternoon with some person that I don't know calling me a racist prick on Facebook, which was great and it was something completely ridiculous. But yeah, that was good. Nothing like a bit of dickhead to ruin your day. Oh, it's not even worth getting into. She's just, my lord, it's crazy. Fighting the dog for the brushes. Oh, jeez, that's no good. All right, good stuff. They were her words, by the way. I think it's just the way to go. Everyone's. It's one of the worst things you can be these days. So it's just the way it works. Nah, not in the group, Helen. I'll tell the story quickly for anyone who's watching back. I've yeah, exactly right. Same. It's hilarious. It's so funny. Um, so Sunday afternoon, we went out exploring in this place down here, and there was a graffiti picture of a dick and balls. And I took a photo of it, and I wrote something along the lines of, "I'm really loving the ancient indigenous artwork here. Really inspired, blah, blah." So in essence, I was taking the piss out of the person who thought it was cool to draw a dick and balls. It's a joke, nothing. It was a cute painting, exactly right. Um, and then this woman just comes out of nowhere. I don't even know her. She's still in our group, I think. I'm still technically friends with her. I doubt she'd be watching, but she came out, called me a racist prick, like so full on, right, and just went totally nuts on me for being a racist. So yeah, it was a good afternoon. Jesus Christ. If only she knew. If only she had any clue whatsoever. So this is what sucks about this day and age is that um, people's misunderstanding and just dumbness, just plain dumbness in this case, that can ruin people's livelihood. Yeah, we settled that. That's fine. I don't know her. I'm not going to get into a slanging match with a stranger. I reacted to her initially because I was so shocked. But, then she's threatening to take it public, calling me a public figure and all this stuff. But it's like, if that gets in the wrong hands and people aren't across everything, she can just go around telling people I'm a racist. And then I get no work because people are too stupid to do their own research and understand nuances of things. Anyway, what can you do, eh? All you can do is carry on painting. I didn't block her. I deleted the thing because I didn't want it to carry on anymore. But it's, it's just crazy shit. There are people out there who just shouldn't. Just shouldn't. Social media is the worst thing for them. All they do is just sit there and be angry all day. But anyhow, we will get past that. It's all good. Here we go. Got a friggin' little bug or something flying around my face. Well, ironically, Angie, excuse me, got something there. Yeah, it's crazy. It's bizarre. Ironically, Angie, my two nephews, are both Aboriginal kids from Halls Creek in WA. Couldn't get more Aboriginal if you tried, and friends, family, all that stuff. It's just like, you don't know me, you idiot. But anyhow, let's carry on. Otherwise, I'll get too cranky when I think about it again. This piece we're going to paint is this one. I'll bring it up now. Yeah. People are judgy and couple that with zero sense of humour. That's a bad way. All right, so this little picture here. Yeah, I know. Didn't know from a bar. So, g'day Shane, how you going, mate? How you going? Yeah, crazy stuff. Let's just move that a little bit up to about there. Yeah, so this picture we're going to paint, it's a weird one. I did a version of this you probably saw a few weeks back. This is based on a picture from, I can't remember her name, but I got permission off her, to her photograph from Insta. And she's got great pictures like this, just really good stuff. And she's a really good photographer. And I just thought this is a cool scene because it gets you splashing things around and having to play with it. But there are a couple of really cool techniques we can focus on here. Namely, warm and cool. Believe it or not, there's not really any warmth in this picture except for, a couple of street lights and whatever. But what we can do is embellish some, and I want to, I'll show you how we do that as we go through. You look at that snow, the surface of the snow, and you go, "Ah, shit! There's so much shadow and light and weird bits and dark bits and not so dark bits and all that." But you don't. I'll show you how to approach that. It's too you've got to do it with a bit of abstraction. I'll show you. And the dude, we've got to get his pose right, so we can get him walking through, which is cool. Good little lesson there. And we'll use a lot of strong darks and some masking fluid and stuff like that. So it's 8:07 already. Well, we're 7 minutes in, theoretically. So how about we get cracking? Do you like my new setup? By the way, I'll just move that for a second. Do you like that that lens flare that you're seeing over there? Where are we? I'm trying to do things backwards around this area. That lens flare is actually coming from a light. It's not an effect. So I can, muck around with it. It's cool. And yeah, I've just got a couple of, a bit of a backdrop and some light in the back as well. But anyway, we absolutely digress. And I just think it looks a bit better. You don't have to worry about paying any, attention to my messy room. And we sweep. So without further ado, I'll get that up there and get rid of that. And should look pretty cool as well. So we'll bring the picture back up, and you can see I've got my masking fluid, my dodgy masking fluid brush there. That's good, all ready to go. So if you are painting along, set up with quarter sheet in portrait mode, of course, and we'll get stuck in. I've just got some. I'll just use whatever's in the palette. I think I've got enough paint there to do this. And yeah, we'll use some opaque color as well. Whether you've got white, I mean, you can, if you wanted to, it can be white acrylic because we're doing it all at the end, and white acrylic will work fine and just water it down. It's cool. So don't stress too much about that side of things. And I really, really do appreciate, just once again, the support financially that people are giving me. I'm really, really very, very grateful and humbled by it. I am starting the podcast. I have done the theme music, and I've also started recording the first episode. So I'm going to probably launch in about 3 weeks. I'll give you a date when I'm ready to rock. I promise you that. But yeah, about 3 weeks' time, we should have a couple of episodes up for everyone to check out. So yeah, thank you. But as I say, none of this is free to set up, but I love doing it, and I appreciate the support that allows me to do that and to keep the lights on here. Very much appreciate it. And please share everywhere. So quality-wise on your side, just checking because it's we're only new to YouTube. Is everything looking okay on your side? Sounding okay? Blah blah blah. Everything looking good? Because I'm about to go and start this thing. Cool. Beer. Beer is good. And have your hair dryers ready as well. I mean, do that always anyway, but particularly with this picture because we're using the good old masking fluid. So everything's sounding and looking good, huh? That is brilliant to know. God damn. That little noisy here and there is my stupid mouse pad. I meant to get a mouse pad. I don't have one. Technology, I don't have a mouse pad. Okay, cool. So, the drawing is quite simple. So we're just going to establish that sort of horizon line out there. So we want that, we want all this to be quite big, this area. Now, buildings, it doesn't matter. Definition is not important here at all. I can see there's some kind of dome with a pointy bit, something church or something. Just leaving that U shape there. Trees, buildings there and trees. And we can bring a couple of branches down and have a rough look where you want things. So if we take by the picture our car, which is fairly nondescript, of course, it's going to be about there. Something like that. And the rest is just dark under that. That's cool. Now, the most important part is the figure. So that's going to give us our movement. The car gives us some movement as well as some stuff we'll splash on later on. But the figure gives us that dynamism in it. It's just really, really nice. Whenever you, I mean, it's a fairly common thing, but whenever you want a figure to appear like they're moving or they're animated in some way, just throw them off balance. You know, they're not just straight up and down. You know, some of the streetscapes we do are, you know, pretty, you know, well, boring is not the word, but the figures are straight on and or going either coming towards us or going away from us. And that's cool. And that serves absolutely serves a purpose as well. But if you want to make them a bit more animated, just throw them off balance a bit. So I'm not going to worry about the hat or the bag. I mean, I'll probably put it on there, but I'm not worrying about drawing it up. So as long as we get proportions right, which is cool, which it pretty much is as a hat or something, whatever. That, believe it or not, is the drawing. Now comes the cool bit, the fun bit. Check out this. Check out my gnarly mask and fluid brush. It doesn't get used much, but that's cool. That's the best way to do this is sacrifice an old brush. This is an old Art Spectrum something. Sacrifice a brush and just let it build up into something like that. Then pick it off, cut it off, whatever you want to do. This is the mask and fluid I've got. I don't know what it is. It's just a generic brand of some sort. But generally I find with masking fluid, what I've found, I mean, I don't use it much, so I'm probably not the greatest authority on it, but I find the cheaper it is, the better it works. I don't know. Might be one of those crazy things. Okay, so we're not. Are we getting anyone's comments? I just want to make sure everything's right. So the last comment I can see is Guinevere saying great setup. Is that what everyone else can see as well? Sorry for asking stupid questions like this. I just want to make sure we're on track. Shaking the old masking fluid. But I don't know if you're there if you don't talk to me. Thanks, Ellen. All right, good stuff. So, main parts here, and don't stress too much. Honestly, look at the reference. There's no stress here. We're just putting a bit of stuff here so we can make them as bright as we can later on. The little bits. There you go. I'll put there's a little something. Why not? Let's do it. There you go. A couple of lights or something there. And then you just do this. Splash around. Don't splash your masking fluid in your beer because it is poisonous. Just remember that. There you go. That's it. Splash it. It doesn't matter where. Just indiscriminate except for those main bits, of course. Now I'll get the hairdryer out in a second. Just going to let it settle naturally for a moment. Make sure I've got enough colour. Sure do. Ooh. Don't have heaps of blues there. Let's grab a blue. Here we go. Let's do a bit more ultra. No, that's violet. You dickhead. Here we go. Bit ultra. What else? Yeah, everything else should be right. Good. Nah, that's all right, Sarah. No problem. That's cool. Ah, good. That's all right. I'll find you. All right, cool. So you can see there that everything's looking all right. We just need to dry it off and get cracking. So just going to dry off. Be careful here. There's a lot of puddling and stuff or pooling going on. So you don't want to. I don't care about these things going crazy, but I want those to kind of stay where they are. So, well, not like that. That's okay. It'll be fine. They're dancing. Look at that. Getting into it. Hey Cheryl, did you end up getting a refund for Bathurst, or are you coming in January? What do you reckon? It's great news. I can't wait to get up to Newcastle in September to do those couple of workshops. First one in Morisset and Lake Macquarie, and one a week later in Newcastle, Society of Artists. They're going to be great fun. But it's just going to be really cool to interact with humans in person again. It's great. Well, at least at this stage, depending on how those bloody Victorians are faring. I'm just sort of going over lightly here. They're all kind of staying in the right spot so far, which is cool. So it's been absolutely pissing down with rain the last few days here, which I quite like if you don't need to go and do anything. I actually love it. If you're just housebound and you're chilling out, that's good. But having to take the two kids to daycare and kinder, oh my lordy, in two different places obviously. Man, that was fun. By myself because Shez was at work. Good fun. Good fun. What was weird today, even weirder, is that I had a few hours to myself. Shez was at work. Kids were both at school. So what did I do? Mucked around with backdrops and such. Cool. Alright, so I'm just gonna, I reckon that'll be okay. Just gonna get rid of that one. So I don't want that one there. Clean finger is all you need. Don't worry about getting rubbers out or anything silly. Doesn't matter. Just don't put too much on, otherwise like this it can take about a year to dry. The podcast is coming along well, the production of it. Everything's looking good. And I've booked in my interview with our first guest. The first interview, or the first podcast episode I'm going to do is, I'm just going to be a solo thing. But I promise you it won't be boring. It'll actually be really nice. It's really good. It's weird going back to voiceover days, which I used to do some voiceovers. When I did welcome to blah, 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 blah. I was thinking of maybe doing it like a 1920s radio host. Hello everybody, welcome. No, maybe not. Hold on. Just gonna tape all that back down. Oh, thanks, Jennifer. How you going? Welcome. This photo came from, I can't remember her name, but I will give her a shout out in the notes here. A lady on Instagram who has given me permission to paint any of her pictures when I need to. It's great. It's unreal. But no, thank you. Welcome. All right. If everybody else who's there, anyone there, share it around. Let's get this thing cranking, eh? Let's get it cranking right up. Nah, it's good fun. Okay. Still a bit tacky, but should be all right. So, a thing I want to do here, when you look at the reference picture, as I was saying earlier, there's not much warmth. It's just those lights and things. But what I want to do is just make this, I kind of did it in my initial painting that I did of this scene, but I want to make that quite warm, but not, it's still got to be fairly dull as far as light goes, because it's still a nighttime scene. We still want these lights and things to make sense. So I was thinking sort of pinky Tuscadero. Who can tell me who Pinky Tuscadero is? Come on. All us old farts out there, come on. Everyone should be able to tell me. Look at that. Straight in. Bit of pink stuff. Pinky Tuscadero. Also had, I don't know who played Pinky Tuscadero, but she had a sister or cousin whose name was Leather Tuscadero. And they were a major part of this show for a little while. Now, all this is really, there's a lot of water, so once again, it's going to dry off a lot lighter. So this is our bit of warmth, and if we get some of that glowing underneath there, that's good too. I'm actually going to put the tiny bit of orange I've got left there. I'll put a little bit in. Why not? Probably too much in there. That's okay. It's all wet, so just mop it out. That's good. All right, so I'm not going to touch that anymore. I'm just going to move down into the main sort of wash, I suppose. Now it's going to be really light, so I still want to, there's not a lot of white there, but it's still really light in value, so we can't go too nuts. Put some shadows and things on later on when it'll make a bit more sense. So just with a bit of a blue, bit of ultra there, bit of blue, bit more blue than that, that's fine. Okay, that'll work. And I just want to bring that down, leaving some white bits here and there, not much. But dry brush is good, big wash is good. There's lots of water, so everything will be nice and light when it comes time. Now, I just want to go back in here, just re-strengthen that. So I want a bit of that warmth to come down in there. That's okay. Believe it or not, that's sort of kind of it for that first wash. I'm just going to let it run, do its thing. So this is that preparation. So what I was saying the other night when we were doing the doing Notre Dame is that you've always got to let your first wash. I mean, a lot of people treat it as a, well, what's the opposite of an afterthought, but has a before thought? You know, just treat it as a bit of a, yeah, we'll get the wash in and then we'll do the real painting. But no, that's the wrong way to approach it. You've got to approach it from the point of view of your first wash is going to do a whole bunch of work for you. And you want to take advantage of it because it's generally speaking the easiest step to paint. It's still hard to think about and prepare properly for, but it's generally the easier step to pull off. Oh, excuse me. Happy days. Good stuff, Shane. Excellent. Oh, that's no good, Angie. No good. Hope you're feeling better. Happy days. And who played Leather Tuscadero? Okay, so this is all doing its thing. It's sort of sitting a bit still now. So I'm going to get the get Adele out. Here she is with the #1 song, Grammy winner this one. And you'll see as we dry this off how much lighter it'll become. Once all the water evaporates and, you know, all you're left with is the pigment that was there. Not as much there as you think there is usually in a wash. And you've got to prepare for that. That's just something you get used to. You've got to make sure to make the wash strong enough so it actually does a job for you. It'll make sure it's pretty much spot on, 100% dry at this point. It's weird, sort of some of these washes, especially with snow seams, you kind of dry it off so you can wet it again to put some other stuff in. So sometimes it feels a bit counterintuitive, but I guess the important part is when you want cauliflowers, that's fine. But when you don't want them, you've got to dry it off and start with a dry surface. But you'll never get a cauliflower as long as what you put on your paper is drier than your paper at the time. So if your paper's still wet and your wash is wet, and then you go in with something that's wetter still, that's when you'll get issues, because it just balloons out. Fonzie's girlfriend. Well, that's right, Kerry. Leather was Fonzie's friend. I think Fonzie's girlfriend was Pinky. I don't know who played her, but Susie Quattro played Leather. And yeah, a career was launched. Well, not really. She was doing a thing before that. But no, I always use Happy Days as a bit of an example of about how I was as a student, in as far as I can't remember anything I learned at school, but I'll tell you who played who, and well, for the most part anyway. I'll tell you plot points of Happy Days, no problem. Perhaps even family ties. Okay, we need some dark, quite dark at the back. Here we go. Just with I've got a flat brush here. You can do it with whatever you like. Just abstract. Keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on thinking ahead. So we're abstracting things. Still pretty washy. I don't want to go in too heavy with it, but I still want it to be dark enough that we can muck around with it and drop some even darker stuff in. Just a little bit there. Square brushes are good because you can just sort of make the angles up and whatever. That's good. Susie Quattro, that's right. Okay. So going into that colour, just going to mix up another dark, a little bit thicker, because I want to put a few marks on there that are going to almost stay put. They'll move around a little bit, but I want them to, I don't want them to blend in with the wash, so to speak. So, it's just suggesting things, structures in the back. We'll do this little towery thing, whatever it is. It's like a church or something. And just run a few things down. Bit of softness. It's just clean water. Softening up a few bits here and there. Splash. It's all just going to be trees anyway. Look at that. I'm going to try and keep these Tuesday nights fairly quick. Painting quick, yes, but I don't want to. I don't want to spell everything out for you on these ones. The big detailed workshops are for those mini ones we'll do on Thursdays on here, where we'll do a couple of paintings and get going there. But we'll still cover things here. I'm not going to not tell you anything deliberately. I'm just going to motor, and you know, if I'm going too quick, that's cool. Just paint it later at your own pace, or if you're going to do that, if you find it is too quick for you at the moment, you will speed up. Trust me. You'll talk to anyone here who's been watching for a little bit. You will by default just start speeding up as you paint, even when you're not doing a demo or anything like this. You're just painting for yourself. You'll find my stupid little voice in your head going, "Hurry up! What are you doing? You're dawdling," and you will speed up. I promise. That's a good thing. Because as I always say, watercolor is designed, I think, to be quick and fresh and not laboured over. That's when they become stiff and boring, dare I say. I like that. I don't want to do too much, but it looks nice. See, this is watercolor. Look at that. Could never paint that. Looks great though. Leave it. Always leave that kind of thing when you get it. I do want to blot that out a little. Yep, that's cool. Happy. And I like all this random stuff going on here. But while all these bits are wet, I'm actually going to go back in with some stronger stuff just to indicate a few things. Because while it's wet, anything that goes in there will soften up and become a lot weaker as it goes on. So I want to take advantage of that and have some nice soft shadowy sections here and there. Have a look where your masking has dropped. You know, put a couple of little bits around that if you want to. It's funny with Sydney. For those of you who are not sure or don't know, because it's your first time here or first time hanging out with me, got a couple of kids. One's 2 and he is in daycare a couple of days a week, and I've got a daughter who's almost 5 and she's in kindergarten, and she's a freaking crack up. She's starting to copy us in the right context too much. For example, when I picked her up from school this afternoon, we went to Macca's and got a little soft serve cone because she'd been a good girl at school. And but she's always shit at home. She's a good girl at school though. As we're driving out of Macca's, she goes, Henry, which is my son, who wasn't there, he was at daycare. Henry's going to be bloody whinging when he finds out we had an ice cream. Bloody whinging. She's already a potty mouth. Good stuff. Good parenting. Parents of the year, us. Parents of the universe. Look at all this. That's beautiful. It's what we want here. Some nice, long, dark marks that speak car, speak track, speak rough snow. And we don't do too much. I like that. Just make it really dark. I'm just going into some neutral tint here. And tomorrow, because there's no such thing as report cards at the moment, and obviously she's only in kinder, but they're having a phone call with the teacher. Oh, it's going to be interesting. She's probably going to say, she's so delightful, she's lovely. What? Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. it's getting there. It's all just, you know, wishy-washy at the moment, which is fine. I am going to wait until it's all dry, which I'll dry off in a sec. I'm going to wait for that to put the figure in and some shadows. Although I could do the shadows now, they can be nice and soft. Let's do that. Good idea, me. Need a bit of that light showing. Just that kind of thing there. A bit darker. Some kind of shadow there, that's fine. Yeah, cool. So once again, this is all just preparation. So don't panic. Panic, I promise it's all okay. Okay, drying off is Adele's new single. It's got to be pretty much 100% dry before we do the next part, because we want some definition in the next little section. Shadow is going to be nice and subtle, which is great. Love it. Oh, cool, that's pretty good. Let's let that sit for a sec. Yeah, I agree with you, Jennifer. I absolutely agree with that. Drawing time in watercolor is imperative, and if you a lot of beginners struggle with that because they struggle with their own paintings because they go, why is everything just so weak and washy and everything's just blending and no, there's nothing going on, and it's purely just because of that. They just don't understand that layering process that's so important. So yeah, thanks for acknowledging that. That's a good thing. I really always find that handy in tutorials when when you can see what's going on with the drawing. It's very important. Okay, let's have a look. Ugh. Yeah, this guy's a bit browner than I was hoping for, but that's all right. All right, so just want silhouette for now. Silhouette, just trying to see my drawing under there. Can't really see it that well, but he's somewhere about there. That'll do for now. We'll just get his rough shape. Arms out about there somewhere. A glove or something. Because it's obviously cold. And somewhere there, like that. I think he's got a bag. Just trying to get it roughly right so he looks like he's moving and walking like we'd expect. His right leg's a bit funky, but that's okay. Bag looks good. He's happy. Okay. I'll do this again while I'm here. Dark, dark, dark. Do that while it's not so wet so it doesn't bleed everywhere. See, this is a car. You won't, I mean, it doesn't resemble any of my normal cars that I paint, but it doesn't need to in this picture. It's not meant to, because you just want that dark, because the white over the top is going to be so strong that we want that bit of contrast. That's all. There's no definition in anything. But we'll just throw a few splashy washies in there, why not? Just playing now. It's a bit silly. It's okay. Just go back in there again. It's wet now, so we'll go quite dark. That'll do. Sweet. All right, so the figure's drying off quite nicely. While I've got some dark paint on here, just going to put a few trees and things in. Get rid of a bit of that stuff there, unfortunately. That's okay. Dry brush. Whenever there's a bit that you're not sure of how to approach, it's got to be something there, but you don't want to spell it out. Bit of dry brush bang across, and it just sort of tells a story without you really having to paint much. Okay, cool. Dodgy brush time. Get yourself one of these, or if you don't have one of these, get yourself an old brush, kind of similar to the masking fluid brush, and just abuse it so it's a bit dodgy, or a lot dodgy, and you can make really nice tree shapes. If there's enough water and pigment going on, not enough, keep going. I just didn't want to make it washy at all, but why isn't it? There you go, it's a bit better. A bit darker. It's got to be quite dark. It's got to hold up to the branches and trunks and stuff that you put in there. Not too far over. Something like that. Okay, cool. Now, dry off, then the masking comes off, I reckon. Here we go. Really want to dry this, because we're going to be scrubbing at it a little bit to get the masking fluid off. I don't want too many dodgy areas, although in the end it won't be too bad anyway. Ah, saw something I've got to do. I'll just do really quickly before do it. I've got to make this sky have a bit of a trail, don't I? Yes. Something like that. Bit of red, that'll turn purple or something. That's fine. Splash around. It's just something to indicate it, that's all. It's not a defining thing. Yeah, cool. Stop working it, idiot. There we go. There we go again. Maybe the red was a bit funny. I'll find somewhere to put some red, but don't want it there. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. So that's it. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Clean finger. Just scrub them on. You'll get some friction burn. That's okay. There are worse things. Let's try. Sometimes be careful when you got too much on like that because it can rip your paper up. Oh, it looks good, doesn't it? That's why I generally don't like masking fluid. It leaves all these weird marks. But in a scene like this, it's fine because we're going to do some splashing and it's going to be all messy anyway. It's a messy painting, this one. But it's going to be full of character, hopefully. Lovely. Yeah. There we go. Done. Thank you. No, I'm joking. Okay, so usual stuff with masking fluid is that we have to take care of the silly rough edges or hard edges, sorry, excuse me, and make everything just a little bit nicer. So, a bit of dry brush, he says as he dips it in water because he's a dipstick. That bloody burnt sienna, it's so strong. It's actually Winsor & Newton burnt sienna, that one. So I've just got some thick paint. I'm just going around, just putting a few little marks here just to disguise things a bit. Not heaps because I like some of it. That's good. Bit of that. But just want to disguise a little bit of stuff here and there. Put a dome or an archway or something. There you go. I don't know. There you go. Little light poles or whatever. Something that's in the background. That's cool. I'm not really looking at the reference photo anymore. It's done its job for me. It's given us the star of the show, which is the composition, really, in this one. Okay. Now, we'll do that last. I'm just trying to think of a way to put some not so much definition, but a little bit of detail without being silly into the figure. And I'm just using a bit of lavender that's mixed with something else, but it's just a purpley colour. It's got a bit of body to it. Just want to give him a little bit of volume, really. It doesn't take much. It's just that little bit of work in order to just define a couple of bits. And might as well just get the lavender and put a bit of a highlight. Some of this will disappear, or a lot of it will disappear once we splash some stuff on it, but I just want to get a few little bits of detail in while I can, while it's still a normal painting, so to speak. Let's splash some of that. Let's not waste it. Lavender. If you haven't used lavender, Holbein make it. Daniel Smith make one as well. I think it's same pigment in there, I think, but it's a bit darker, I think. Just going by, a student had one once, had some once. Now, yeah, let's do that. Now I've got to get some definition in the shadows coming from our fella, our protagonist. Okay, cool. Just needed to get a bit of definition into that, and kind of do a bit of the same up here. All right, sweet. White paint, here we go. Here comes the fun stuff. Now, you could just do this without having left the masking fluid, absolutely. But I find when you want things to glow, like I do with these headlights, and I'm going to do a similar thing at the back of a couple of spots, the masking fluid really helps. It just put a bit of white paint on there. Don't worry too much about where it's going. And clean finger, just going around. Probably need a bit more than that. Yeah, actually a lot more than that. It needs to be quite thick what you're putting on, because it's fairly hectic and you want that to look like it's sort of blinding you a bit. If I can't see your comments and things right at the moment, because I'm painting and I'm not looking at the screen, write it in anyway. If you've got questions and stuff, write them in. I'll have a look at them later on and I can answer them. So there's a fair bit there. That's good. Cool. Happy with that. You've got to sort of squint your eyes and remember what's coming is more splatter and all that stuff. So what we'll do, I'll get a bit orange happening. It's a bit of, I've just got that white paint that's just still on my brush. And I'll put a bit of raw sienna and a bit of orange in there. That's cool. So just doing the same kind of thing up here with there and there. Might need some more, but that's okay. There. That's not strong enough. Let's go. Let's make it quite strong. Same technique there, just a bit. I'm just gently coaxing it out. I'm not really pushing in. I don't want to disturb it too much. I just want something like that. And what we'll do is you'll see something in a second that I think will make all the difference. Got little highlights or whatever. Cool. And that way you get a bit of warm and cool stuff going on, so it just makes for a nicer composition. Well, that water is now delightful. So I shouldn't have got rid of that. I don't know why I did. Anyway, that's cool. We digress and all that. Mixing some up here. Fair bit of water, and we just start going crazy. You know, not Ted Bundy crazy. That's just silly. Oh, someone will get offended at that. Watch out. Be careful. Now, there's a lot of water here, so it will dry off lighter. We'll need to do a couple of coats, so to speak. Strengthen it up a bit. So it's still watery. I'm going to have to repaint this room when we move out, aren't I? Yep. You can get the whole blizzard thing going. Just do heaps of it. Like it's kind of one of those things. If you're going to do this sort of technique, you kind of gotta. You can't just do a bit of it. You've got to go all in, all out, whichever expression you want to use. It means the same thing. So I'm squinting, having a look. Now, I know that this will dry off very light. You might think there's too much going on. I hope you're wrong. Just give me a sec. What we'll do is we've got to dry it off. Just watch. You'll probably see it dry off before your very eyes as far as the strength of it goes. Just watch the strength of the splatters and stuff, and hopefully they'll kind of dissipate. If I'm right, they'll dissipate a fair bit. So you can see here, even in the thick white paint there, it's got to be touched up a bit. It's a bit too separate. You can see how much it's lightened off just with this little drying. Right, cool. So it's this sort of stage with these sort of paintings that you've got to just persevere and gradually increase the strength. So I'm just going back in here. It's just a bit too careful, a bit too round. Everything's just too nice, if you know what I mean. I'll do that. That's all fine. But Oh, I might have just stuffed it. No, it's okay. That's all right. White paint. So I'm just dipping the white paint in the white brush, the brush in the white paint tube, and just getting a bit of water, and that will give you something without having to dilute it too much. Just don't be afraid. You've got, look, if you're going to do a painting like this, it's pretty obvious before you start that you're going to make a mess. Hopefully you're lucky enough to have a spot that it doesn't matter. That's okay. Cool. I'm liking the headlights now. They're working a bit better. So I need to make them bleed a bit, run a bit. There you go, that's better, that's better. All right, it'll still dry off a lot. I'm going to dry it again now. It'll lighten up a lot, I mean. Lovely. Just want to make that bleed a bit more. There you go. Run down, that'll be better still. So this is an expressive painting, you know, it's where you're, all of them should be really, but we're expressing ourselves here, we're having a play, and you know, anything you can do to, you know, put your body into, move it around and make it happen like you want, just bloody do it. It's good fun. Don't be frightened, it's just paint. I think we're getting almost there with the whole blizzard thing. It's almost there. Almost. Someone, namely my daughter, has lost my jeune, I think, for me. Cool, Sydney. All right, that's cool. Just going back into the white, couple of little dots, straight paint here. Just a couple of central bits in there, and also up there in those lights there, just to make them kind of glow a bit. You know, you can put a couple of highlights on the fella. You know, thick paint. Don't know what that is, looks okay. resist the urge to do too much. And definitely getting that urge to do too much. Okay. Just sort of feeling my way around it. Just wanted a bit of softness somewhere over here. Almost there, I reckon. I do want to put a bit of red somewhere. I might put like a red. Yeah, right. I'll do my obligatory red scarf. Won't be a sec. Cool. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, red paint straight out of the tube. Just making sure there's no white left over in the brush. Straight from the tube, fair bit of it. Scarf. Something like that. Oh, and that shouldn't dry up a lot lighter. It should be okay. It's pretty strong. I reckon it's done. So it's a good exercise in throwing paint around, learning how much your washes will lighten up as they dry off. That's a really good lesson in this picture. And also not being afraid to use white. I mean, obviously this is an anomaly of a scene, and I don't know how on earth you would try to achieve that kind of movement without using white paint, but you know, I don't use white paint to this extent in a normal circumstance, but definitely comes in handy when it needs to. Just put it down flat there now. There we go. Right. That's right, Jennifer. Definitely is. It does. 100%. Let's just get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Close it down. Yeah, I think it looks quite nice. It'll settle down a lot more even still overnight tonight. Ooh. Let's do this. There we go. I'll just move it over a bit. There you go. That's a bit better. Thank you. That's unreal. Thanks, Jennifer. That's great. I really appreciate you coming along. Are you in our, Jennifer? Are you in our Facebook group? Another session will be. See what I do. The schedule is I used to do these all on Facebook Live, but I found the platform was letting us all down. It was just really unreliable, and I kept dropping in and out and things. So what I've done, I'm coming over to YouTube. This is only the second time on YouTube. I did one like an off the cuff one on Friday night, last Friday, to test YouTube, and it's a lot more stable, So I'll be doing them on YouTube from now on. But if you're not, go into Facebook. If you're on Facey, head in there and go to paint all over me. Go to just search for Tony White Watercolor Workshops, and if you join that group, keep everyone up to date there with the schedule and things. So the schedule is pretty much Australian Eastern time, so Sydney time. I'm in Hobart, but Sydney time we've got 8 p.m. Tuesdays for this one. Thursdays I do a longer version, so we do 2 paintings, but it's in the morning, so 10 a.m. till approximately 2. But this week, if you want to come along, because I've got some stuff I can't get out of, it was pre-organised, I'm going to ask everyone if they want to come along to do that one. We're going to start at 9 o'clock and go till roughly about 1 with a lunch break in the middle. So yeah, Tuesdays and Thursdays essentially for these lives, all on here. And I'm starting a podcast. Oh, that's all right. No worries, Sarah. Good stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing it. But yeah, if you go in that group, Jennifer, if you go in there and if you're painting along, and if you do some of the paintings later on, just post them on the page. Everyone's great. We've got a great little community going there. It's unreal. And as I say, they're always going to be free to watch and participate in. But I do accept donations, absolutely. If you're able to and if you want to, no problemo. My links are there, and everything else is pretty cool. There's a podcast coming up. I'm just building up these little layers and layers to get our watercolor world a bit more out there. There's just not enough out there for us. Well, not enough that's consistent, and if there's not enough that is just a bit of fun. Learning great stuff is excellent, but and we still do. I hope everyone learns things and learns to speed up, and I give a lot of information, but my biggest goal is to have fun and have you guys have fun. There's a lot of stuffiness and uptight rubbish in the art world in general, but especially with watercolors, a lot of old fuddy-duddies, and don't want that. Life's too short. So I really, really appreciate your support. So if you can share this, all these videos stay here, by the way. I don't know what's going on with my lighting. All these videos stay here forever in my channel. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the little bell so you get notifications when I'm on. And I'll when we go through, as it progresses, I'll have everything scheduled, so you'll know where it is. You won't be able to miss it. And if you do miss it, it's always there. You can just watch it and pause it and fast forward and rewind at your leisure. So it's all good. Does anyone have any questions while I am still here? I really appreciate everyone for coming along. It's been great fun. Oh, thanks, Kate. Really appreciate that. Thank you. And Kanya, thank you so much as well. Thank you for all your kind words. Great work that you're doing. Thanks, Maureen. You're a bloody legend. And yeah, I think I said it before. I'm going to shave this off, I think maybe tomorrow. Oh, cool. No problems. Good stuff. Excellent. The white paint was just white gouache. I usually use white watercolor, titanium white watercolor. It's a bit less chalky, but I just don't have any. I don't have any left. A worst case scenario, I mean, you could use white acrylic paint because it's the last sort of thing we're painting in it. White acrylic would be fine. Just water it down. It'll be stronger, so water it down. But yeah, you wouldn't have any dramas with that. And this is a good painting to just express, just let it all out, let it out. That's good. Thanks, Guinevere. Good stuff. It's yeah, it's a funny one. I'll always try and do something a bit quirky on the Tuesday nights, and you know, a bit more traditional on the Thursdays. So I hope that gives everyone a nice little mixture of subject matter, so it doesn't become too boring. But no, hit me up if there's any on Facebook or on here. Send me a message on here. You can do that. Email, whatever. Carrier pigeon. I don't care how you contact me. Telegram. Don't know if that exists, but that's okay. Contact me if there's anything you want to know, any suggestions you want to make for the actual subject matter or the feeds or podcast suggestions. What would you like to hear on podcasts? What do you not like about podcasts that I can't do? But it's great. No, good stuff. Thank you. Oh, excellent, Sarah. Great stuff. I'm very, very glad you enjoyed it. Excellent. Well, I hope you guys have a good day or a good evening and a good afternoon, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I shall see you on Thursday. And I am here also live with Diego Aguinian. I think that's how you say his surname. I'm not sure. Sorry, mate. He's an Argentinian painter. We're doing a jewel thing on his channel, but I'll promote that over the next couple of days as well. And that's on Friday night, same time. This time, I think it's like 7 o'clock in the morning his time. Sucked in. But no, cool. Good stuff. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate your support and love your work. Thank you, and I'll talk to you guys soon. See you on Thursday. Keep an eye on the Facebook group. I will post the reference photos up for Thursday. I'll post them up tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. Oh, thanks, Jennifer. You're the best. You're the best.